Hello, Irish dictator. You know me. I'm Joe Bob 1/2. This is actually video request number 2, or maybe it's 3. I'm not sure. Anyway, he asked me to come on and critique one of his videos, so I figure, what the hell? I'm a nice guy. And I think I'll do a nice one. So I go to the first video. First video is on Habeus Corpus. What I'm going to do, Irish dictator, is I'm going to speed up the video a little bit
to maybe 150%, and of course volume, audio as well. Simply because, especially on political stuff, some of my subscribers and many of my haters who watch my videos just to see if I do anything of importance tend to be a little bit, ADD and have a very short attention span. So I'm going to speed up to 150, maybe 125%, just to shorten the length of it a little bit, maybe keep it entertaining for those with short attention spans. Anyway, yeah. Now, I don't feel like restating Habeus Corpus because I just did another video, and I don't feel like tripping up on my words, so I'm going to just splice in a little cut of that video that I did yesterday right about, now.
The privilege of the writ of Habeus Corpus shall not be suspended unless within cases of rebellion or invasion the public safety may require it. I may have misstated a word or two, but that is the writ of Habeus Corpus, the thing that Bush has suspended.
Okay, so about Habeus Corpus. Habeus Corpus basically is, you know what Habeus Corpus is. Habeus Corpus is basically says that, every person has right to a fair trial, etc., etc., etc. Well, here's the thing. Okay, I know I already did this in my last video, but I think it was an effective, it was an effective tool, so I want you to go ahead, get close to the pause button. Now, this isn't going to work for people who watched my last video, but for people who didn't watch the last video, this will work. I want you to get close to the pause button, okay? Now, as soon as I say the word now, I want you to pause the thing. But first, I want you to think, as you pause it, I want you to think of the top 3 or 5 presidents, best presidents of all time. Starting now. Okay, time's up. I bet Lincoln was one of those top 5. Lincoln suspended Habeus Corpus. Why? Because it was a Civil War, and during the Civil War, Lincoln, it was both a case of both rebellion and invasion, so he saw reading the amendment of the Constitution saying, okay, I can suspend Habeus Corpus because it's an invasion and a rebellion. Bush sees the terrorists as invaders. Now, Bush has not eliminated Habeus Corpus for everybody. He's just eliminated it for the terrorists, or those he deems as terrorists. Anyway. Anyway, so, do I agree with this? When it comes to lawmaking, I tend to be liberal. When it comes to policy, I tend to be conservative. Why am I liberal when it comes to lawmaking? Because I know that any law can be screwed over into some overzealous prosecutor's, fancy. Overzealous prosecutor can call a drug peddler or a Juarez dealer a terrorist because they are terrorizing, let's say like a Juarez dealer is terrorizing the gaming industry by selling it, giving the stuff away. A drug dealer is terrorizing the local pharmaceutical companies. So therefore, they apply this Habeus Corpus, say, okay, now you're a terrorist, and now Habeus Corpus doesn't exist for you. Let's squirrel you away off to Guantanamo Bay where you cannot appeal. So, am I against Habeus Corpus being suspended? Not in particular. I just, who's calling? Anyway, I just think that, it's a useful tool, but it's something that we should use with caution, with a lot of fucking caution. As for you, you're a pretty good guy. I got a question for you, though. What video editor do you use? If you use something along the lines of Adobe Premiere, to prevent that lag, I'd say up the frame rate a little bit. Maybe to, if you export it as 29.9 frames per second, I would suggest upping your capture rate to 29.9 frames per second, or maybe 30 frames per second. That way you won't have as much lag in your video. But if you don't, just reply to me, video or text. I allow all of everything. And, yeah, I agree with most of your views. You're a pretty good guy. And that is all. Okay, this is Joe Bob 1/2, always preaching 2 things, love and peace.